Wanted to do something a little unique this week, and I may decide to do this every week. But what I wanted to do is give you a sample paper of where we're just finishing week 3 of where I believe your paper should be at the end of week 3. I'm in the process. I almost have all of them graded, but I haven't quite graded all of them yet. But what I wanted to do is give you an idea of if I happen to be writing this paper, how the paper would flow, how the different pieces of information would be in there. And my hope is, first of all, that you watch this. The second hope is that you consider some of the things that I talk about in this video going forward, okay? And so here's the cover page. Again, the only difference between the sample student cover page and yours is the name there, okay? So back in week 2, at the end of week 2, we focused on the introduction and the purpose statement. And so what I have provided here is what I would consider to be a good, clear, concise introduction and purpose statement. So I'm going to go ahead and read this for you and maybe make some comments along the way. So here's my go at an introduction. Making the decision to go to college is a big question for recent high school graduates. The decision, however, may be even more complicated for individuals who have gone to college in the past but have not finished their degree. Now, one of those is going to apply to probably all of you. In addition, individuals who've chosen to go directly into the workforce after high school and not to college may find a desire to pursue a college education at some point in the future. That may apply to some of you as well. Each of these situations are unique and require a different approach to getting started, staying committed, and completing the degree. So, what you see I've done here in kind of this first paragraph is I've identified for the reader kind of the three situations that students in this program would be facing. Somebody coming directly from high school, somebody who came and actually went to college but didn't complete their degree, so they're coming back to complete their degree, or some people who didn't go to college at all after high school but have decided that they want to come back or come to or go to college later. And so if you look at that, if you're a reader and you look at that, you go, that one applies to me, so therefore I'm going to go further and I'm going to look and listen, okay? And so the purpose statement comes right after that. So that's really the introduction. This is the purpose statement. The purpose of this paper is to share my background and what motivates me to return to college. Some of the problems and opportunities that I may face will be identified and analyzed. Solutions and commitment strategies for these problems and opportunities will be given to help keep me on track. So if you look at that purpose statement, what it says is really what you're going to be doing and what the paper is going to be about over the next few weeks. So to me, this is an effective introduction for this paper. So here in week 3, you were to give a personal overview and then talk specifically about the motivations that are leading you to come back to school. And so what I did here is I just said from a personal perspective, I'm married, I have 2 children, 2 wonderful children. Family means the world to me. Success in life is only worth it if it makes me a better spouse and parent. Helping my children prepare to meet their lives ahead is my 24-hour a day per day job that I take very seriously. And so I've addressed a few things, so hopefully you find out a little bit about me personally. I'm a family person, right? Professionally, I'm a very outgoing person who enjoys identifying challenges, working in teams to help find creative solutions to solve them. Nearly all of my annual reviews from supervisors have identified my willingness to step in and step up. I tend to be the teammate that others come to when they need clarity on a situation or opportunity. So that tells you a little bit about me professionally. And this is going to be kind of the key piece that will flow into the motivation section. I am the first person in my immediate family who has chosen college as an educational path to pursue. My decision came recently after spending my first 10 years after high school in a series of dead end jobs. I experienced some fellow workers who were receiving management level positions that I desired. I found that my time in the positions and with the company were only partially viewed as key requirements for promotion. In nearly every instance, a college degree was required on the job description. Okay? So, you say all that, you know a little bit about me. Now, this is not designed to have a personal resume here, but after you read that, you get an idea about me being a family person. I'm probably a pretty good worker, but here's my challenge. My challenge is I've spent 10 years out in the workforce and I'm not getting promoted. And the reason I feel I'm not getting promoted is I don't have a college degree. So, what are my motivations for returning to school? Well, different people have different motivations for going or returning to college. A person who has just graduated from high school without immediate family obligations may have much different motivations from me. Um, for me, going to college will be much like adding a part time job to an already busy personal and professional life. So, what I'm doing now is I'm listing my motivations and providing a little bit of information about each, okay? So, these all, by the way, follow that handy dandy template I gave you. And so, this is motivation number one. So, I've replaced the phrase motivation number one with the actual motivation. My first motivation is career advancement. Career advancement is important to me going forward. I feel that to move into the positions in my field requires me to have more than a high school diploma. The current state of the economy, with numbers driven up and sustained by the recent and ongoing pandemic, is forcing adult learners to remain marketable and competitive. This is where, and you'll see this in your papers, I've gone outside to the CSU online library to find a source that supports my reason for going back or my motivation. And so this source actually provides me and the reader, lots of information that says, you know what, David, you're not the only person. This is something that is going on out there in the marketplace. And so it validates the statement that I'm making. And so that's why I want you to go out and find research that will help support your points here. This change in the market is leading many Americans, including me, to return to school. Okay? So that's motivation number one. Motivation number two that I've listed here is financial management. Having a spouse and two children is expensive. To meet the current and future requirements of general life expenses, provide for my family's or my children's future, and plan for retirement someday, I need to make financial choices today and not wait. The recent rise in inflation in the United States has caused challenges for entry level and lower level managers to plan and meet the financial needs of their families. This is a source they have gone out and found at the CSU online library that will support my point of financial advancement is a key reason or a key motivation for people going back to school. And then finally, personal advancement. Setting an example is important for me. I have a spouse and two children who look up to me. Setting a high bar for me as a parent is very important in all aspects of life. I want my children to understand the value of education and learning. And then again, I've gone out and found a source to support what I'm saying. That's what I mean in these papers when I talk about finding support at the CSU online library to support the points that you're making. So, Wells 2020, that's the citations that you're learning about this week, demonstrated that personal factors like lifelong learning and family influences played a major role in working adults' desire to return to college. Okay? So, I just wanted to provide this for you today so you can see how this looks outside of the template. Again, the template, I've given you the headings and some instructions, but this is what a paper could look like. This is some of the content and some of the ideas for content that you could be providing so that it makes some sense to you and it makes some sense to the reader on this paper in general. I hope that you watch this and that you follow this, and I hope that it's meaningful to you. If you have any questions or comments, please make sure that you reach out. If you need a Zoom call, I'm more than happy to do that as well. Take care.